Hello everybody, JP, we're back, mate. The Hearts pre-match, sorry, nearly after the game there. Sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody. Me bit of technical difficulties on the pod tonight there, but we're back, JP. Friday session, 2 Ronnies, mate, we're back. Big game tomorrow against Hearts, obviously, JP. Looking forward to it, early kick-off. All the build-up, obviously, during the week, mate. Good performance leading on to this week. Obviously, this weekend's game. VAR's in now in Scotland. Celtic, again, we're proving we've got some sort of identity of football. And obviously, mate, very, very positive week for Celtic. So looking forward to the match, mate, tomorrow. And I hope you're very well, mate.
Yes, mate. Good evening. Pleasure to be back on chatting to you, mate. Always nice to see your wee happy face. We're making a habit of us Friday. Kate us over. That's a couple of Fridays we've been on the Friday night project, or whatever you want to call it. But you're spot on, mate. It's been a really good week for Celtic. 10 goals out of 2 games. Fantastic. Can't ask for any more. The only snag is we've conceded a dodgy one against Hibs last weekend. But 2 Edinburgh sides back to back, both weekends. It's always good when you get that, I suppose. And not only that, we've got VAR to add into the mix as well. And I can tell with a smile on your face, mate, you're really looking forward to it, same as myself. It's like you're getting a moron a remote control now to play with. You know what I mean? It was already bad enough making decisions in live play. Now you're giving them technology to make an even bigger ass of yourself. The only good thing about it is the good thing about this is VAR is it's video assistant referee, so they can actually see now how many times and rewind it back and forth as many times as they want and how much of a plum they really are when they make decisions on the park. Because now they've got maybe 1 or 2 guys in the rear now telling them. Like, if I was on the other end of that mic, I'd be telling them, you're an absolute plum. You're just a waste of space. You've just as well chucking it. You're as well doing this, doing that. You're as well just walking down the tunnel and putting your bag over your shoulder, walking out, putting your bag in your motor, driving away, and just don't come fucking back. But no, as I say, VAR. I know Big Ange was looking forward to it. I could tell that with his presser. He was only asked her 5 times about it, so I think after the second time he answered, he put his head in his hands, didn't he? He was sort of fed up. You know it. But no, as I say, mate, it's going to be interesting because, as I say, you're getting guys who. I know it's a hard job, Brian. It's a tough job, mate. And up to recently, they've only had the one. They've only had the one sort of view and time to get it and make a decision. Now I've got somebody telling them, no, you've made an arse of that now, so you need to go back and rectify it or go and look at it. And obviously now they've invested quite heavily in it as well, and it looks like a good big centre they've got, to be fair. At Clydesdale House or something it's called. But you're right as well, mate. You mentioned that Celtic have got a true identity in the way we want to work, why we're going to set about teams. And I think it's up to the rest of the teams to find a formula to be able to stop us, which is going to be very hard, I think, mate.
Like me, you and Jason says, mate, obviously if tomorrow game the other day, you're not being cocky, you're just telling the facts. And I do still believe that the only threat to Celtic properly is Celtic, in my opinion. Rangers are on a good vein of form now. The manager's no getting any plaudits for the fans. He's not really getting a lot of no respect, just a reaction for the players. They get booed after the park against Dundee. Fair enough, they've still won the game, but 1-0 at Dundee at home, supposedly, but I didn't see the game, so I watched the last 5 minutes, obviously, once we finished the podcast, and you seen the boos and.
Yeah, I found out it was because Roy Mackay never did come jam again, mate. I think the fans are at their wits' end, mate, now, because that's a couple of times in the last couple of weeks he's been jailed. His packed lunch box just hasn't been full the last couple of weeks, mate. So I think the main stand are now starting to suss the vibes between him and Roy Mackay, and it's no good, mate.
He's going to get you jam and his pieces into man. That's part of his match pre-match routine, man.
It's that Asda price fucking crunchy peanut butter he keeps getting on, man, and he needs to stop it because it's in his teeth and all that when he's getting interviewed now.
Oh, so that's why he talks digital then, isn't it?
Aye.
But in terms of obviously...
Talks like he's just ate a rubber.
Aye, that and all. But obviously they're not happy with the situation at the moment. We are doing very well. But apparently if you listen to media, we went through a big purple patch. We only lost one game. But that's the way, obviously, the Scottish media go towards us.
The season was imploding, remember?
Aye, one defeat in 364 days or something, and it was a disaster.
Our season was imploding, according to the Call Beans, man.
According to Charlie Nicholas, Celtic were vulnerable, and Ange was the man anyway. But we move on to the game tomorrow, JP. Obviously, we're going to VAR.
But Charlie Nicholas doesn't tell you the full story. He's actually sitting in a cupboard when he's saying half that stuff, man. Sitting in a cupboard with black toot windies.
Listen, we all know Charlie was a fantastic player. When it comes sometimes with Celtic, I just don't know if it's to get his ratings up or he's whatever it is to get people talking about him. But some of the statements he makes is bonkers.
He's not on Gillette Soccer Saturday anymore, so he needs somewhere to talk shit. So he just does it into different blogs and stuff now.
And obviously, you mentioned VAR. We'll obviously speak about that in the pod, mate. But obviously, the game tomorrow, Hearts. I think they've got one or two players back, but I think there's still guys missing. They're not the best of form either, so obviously, I think you could work two ways. We could get them at the right time and steamroll them, or they could have a big reaction against us. So I think it's going to make it a good game, obviously, on TV. Tynecastle's obviously a good atmosphere until really, if you get the first goal, it kind of settles their crowd down and you kind of get the upper hand normally. Normally, the first 5 or 10 minutes of Tynecastle is always ferocious. It's always a battle. We've seen it obviously last year when it was Angie's first game. We didn't really play bad. It was just obviously we were light in the squad, injuries. Starfelt just came in, Kyogo just came in. It was their debut, so a lot to learn for that game last year in a sense that
the boy Wonder it scored the winner, wasn't
it? Aye. So I'm expecting a tough game. Always at Tynecastle. I'd like to think obviously Robin Nielsen will have them up for it because they need a win. They're not doing the best. They've just been beating Europe as well. Similar to us, I know we get beat, but they get absolutely battered against Fiorentina. So they'll have a point to prove to the fans to get a victory against us and get back on track for them because they're obviously not really doing well, mate. So it's down to us obviously to continue where we left off for Wednesday. In terms of the team selection, I don't know what he'll do. I think Aaron Moy's probably get his place cemented, mate, in my opinion. I don't think you can really drop Aaron Moy, to be honest with you. Again, I'm saying that I didn't think he was at Forest, and he did no play Forest, but I know it's rotational, and I understand that. So, Jack and Marcus and Forest came back in because they want to play on Tuesday. We don't really know what Andrew's thinking now because of how many games we've got, but I think all in all, JP, no matter who we play, even if it's Seagrass in goals or Burnley at left back, no matter who we play, you're confident of getting the result that needs to be required.
Aye, no, definitely, mate, because it's at a point now where he's been there about 16, 17 months now, Ange. So the players in the squad he's built around, in my opinion, mate, you for me personally, you're happy whenever Celtic are on the telly or whenever you're there watching Celtic or and I don't really moan about team lines, mate, because the teams that he's picked, St Mirren game aside this season, they've kind of showed that, that there isn't many, mate, where they'll go out and no make a good account of themselves or no turn up. But and like I said, mate, you would need a miraculous, the full team not to show for any of these kind of teams to really get a right good result against us. Because, I mean, let's face it, none of the teams in the league are going to outplay us, and they're not going to have all the possession and take the ball in us and play through us or play in about us. So, for us to, they need to make it tough for us. And it's hard to do that, Ryan, when you've got like guys like O'Reilly, Hatate, Moy, Abada firing on all cylinders. You've now got Haskabanovic filling a void that Jota fucking isn't there now. You've also got like say Moy coming in and filling a void that McGregor's not there, but he's still picking out passes and playing through balls. And O'Reilly's dropped deeper and all, and he's helping out with the graft in terms of winning the ball back for the team. And he's shown a totally different side to his game that, we've not really seen for the beginning because he was more attack-minded when he was brought in. So, like I said the other night, mate, after the Motherwell game, it's a well-oiled sort of machine in there now. And they all know their roles, right? Every one of them. So, see, even like the subs come in, they know exactly what they're going in to do. So they know when to drop, when to press, when to go, when to sit, who's going there, who. And like the way the fullbacks rotate as well. So 1 minute they're out wide, next minute they're inside. So they're kind of just reading what Sean says there, Ryan. Aye, don't we all, Sean? That'd be a fantastic start to the weekend for that one, 6 or 7 at Tynecastle. Again, mate, it's not very often you take 6 or 7 off any of the Edinburgh teams. So you're kind of happy when it comes along. But just back to what I was saying, you talk about the rotations of the team now. It's all in a sort of fluent motion now. They all know what they're doing. I mean, 1 minute Greg Taylor's inside at fucking in the number 6, the next minute he's playing as a number fucking 7 out wide, playing through boys like fucking Kaka. You're like, fucking 1 minute, it must be so hard. I mean, how do you set up against that? I mean, Motherwell the other night, they go after us for 20 minutes or something, and they try to press us. But Celtic want you to press. That's why the ball goes to Jens, the ball goes to, the ball goes out wide, the ball, because they want to draw that press for, if a team's setting up with wingers against you, they want to draw that press. But before you know it, the boys played that fast, Ryan, that it's that explosive, mate, and the tempo's that high. 2-3 passes, Celtic are up with. I mean, look at the first goal the other night, for example. That's some of the best intricate play I've seen in a long, long time, mate. And that came from Greg Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm saying. He's playing 1-2s now. When did we see Greg Taylor ever doing that? He was playing with fucking Andy Robertson the other night. So, like I says, mate, it's one big sort of oiled machine now. And I would imagine now, all it is now is the new boys trying to get up to speed. Because see the ones that have come in and they've missed out in pre-season. See, when you miss a pre-season, you know yourself, Ryan, you've played. So, it eventually catches up with you, mate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's going to be good about this wee break when the World Cup comes and then they go away and they do the training camp in Portugal and stuff. Because that's like a pre-season for the ones that missed pre-season. So that'll benefit like Abelgard and Moy and maybe even Haskabanovic, because they're the ones that are playing catch-up. Mm-hmm. Although Haskabanovic is, he's getting game time and so is Moy. But in the legs, mate, in the sort of general fitness, if you keep playing Aaron Moy and you keep playing Abelgard and you keep, eventually it's going to take it, whereas the other boys are just accustomed to it because they've done a pre-season. So all the minutes are in the legs, but the minutes aren't in the legs with the boys. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of going to, eventually it'll take its toll. And then that's when you run the risk of fucking starting having players breaking down the way we saw last season, Kyogo, the hamstring, Turnbull hamstring. Because Ange was being so dependent on the same guys all the time, that's what happens. You then run it because of the amount of games that Celtic play. When you're successful like that, Ryan, you're playing every 2 or 3 days.
Yep.
So that's how you're playing Champions League, you're playing cup games, you're playing the league, you're playing the other cup games, you're playing fucking where you drop into Europa. It's every 2 or 3 days you're playing. So you've not really got a break. You've got maybe a day to recover. And then you're back in again, ready to hit. Now, the training's probably not going to be hectic either because all you need then is your body just ticking over. But the ones that miss pre-season, it's key to get that mini break because that mini break then lets them build on the physical side of fitness. Because the physicality side then becomes harder if you've missed pre-season. So that's something to watch, into the kind of second half of next season now. But in terms of tomorrow, mate, I think Ange will have his team, he'll know the team. The boys will know the team or not. And then it is just a case of going and setting about him the way you would normally set about him at Celtic Park, because that's the way Ange wants. I mean, it doesn't matter whether we're playing at Dumbarton's Park or Celtic Park or Shelton Juniors Park. Ange is setting up the same way. He's setting up to go and have a go at teams and impose their style, which is key, mate. And that comes from, obviously, as you said at the beginning, Celtic having a real identity.
Even like you're talking about the guys who have not really had a pre-season, like Hasebanovic, Abelgard, etc. Obviously, Hasebanovic is playing a wee bit now. Aaron Moy's playing a wee bit. But this Sydney Cup as well, it's basically a mini pre-season for him as well. In a sense,
yep.
It's getting guys, they can give guys like McCarthy 90 minutes, Abelgard 90 minutes. Some of the young boys might come in and play. Because obviously I know everybody's gone to the World Cup. So, again, Joe Hart might only play one game after that, maybe out it. Give him a rest, let him go on holiday. Some of the guys even need to be there. Obviously, they'll be there for experience and obviously to be there because you want to have some of your stars there if they're not at the World Cup. But in terms of the more he plays these guys, the more they're going to get fit. Because, like you said, Aaron Moy didn't really have any football because he wasn't really playing after China. Abelgard was basically, I think he was training with himself. McCarthy last year, he was the same when he came to Celtic. He was with himself because he didn't have a club. So these guys didn't need game time. Abelgard got about 20 odd minutes at the weekend there. During the week there. So he's a bit of more game time. I'd imagine he'd probably come on the bench again if he's not starting, take more game time, depending obviously how the game's going. But the fact that we've got a squad now, you're probably seeing the fruits of the squad now in terms of the way, like, I know Jota's out, Turnbull, I don't know if he's going to be fit or no for the weekend.
What was it Ange says? Was it next week? Because he mentioned something about Shakhtar.
Aye.
And he said maybe Jota, but I think the two of them definitely next weekend, he says.
Right, so in terms of obviously the squad, like he says, with Hasebanovic coming in, you're not forgetting about Jota, but because he's doing well, Jota's he's still on your mind, but you know what, we're really missing Jota here.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. Hasebanovic, I'm a big fan of him, JP. I really like the style of play. He's direct. He's everything Celtic wingers are meant to be like. They're direct, quick, they're attacking. He very rarely turns back. Somewhat about maybe Forrest has done the last 2 or 3 games he's played. He's been a bit more Forrest of old, taking the ball, being direct.
Yeah.
But the last 18 months, he's just been trying to pass the ball back. I'm like, that's no Forrest we've seen through the years. But again, was it confidence? Was it fitness? We don't know. But in terms of Hasebanovic and like guys like Abada, even Maeda came on done okay during the week as well. So you've plenty of options to play. I think I know I thought about Forrest, but might have played during the week because he's hat-trick. Surely he's not going to do the same to Abada after he's just done it during the week. Do you know what I mean? But the reason I think I put a tweet out before the game saying that for me it was a bit of kicking the balls for Forrest and Giakoumakis, and it wasn't a kicking the balls as in like, fuck you, Ange. It was more for them personally. Because I had a hat-trick. See if I played on a Saturday and scored a hat-trick, and then say a Tuesday night I wasn't playing, I'd be like, wait a minute here, I'm on a high, I've just scored 3 goals. I've played, and then I'm leading. And the thing is, Rich, he didn't even get on the park.
Who?
Forrest, no,
I know. But Ange explained it, didn't he? So he sort of said at the end of the game,
because he
says, I can't keep playing players because they'll not be fresh, is what I need them to be to go.
But I totally understand his meaning, but if that was me personally, I'd be money here. I've got a hat-trick.
No, I know.
I'm even kicking the ball. That's what I was getting. Giakoumakis again came on and Keita, I thought his back was away, but again, will he start tomorrow? I think Kyogo, because he's got that goal now, at the weekend, I'm saying Giakoumakis would be the main man for the Wednesday. Kyogo scored now, but he's going to be the main man now. It's just going to chop and change all season, but that's because you've got all these games coming up. You're playing against opposition. different opposition every week, because of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Plenty of options to pick for. Like you say about team selection, if he puts in Abelgard tomorrow and maybe he drops or Hatate and plays more, you're not going to be pissed off because you know why he's doing it. There's a reason behind why he's doing it. But like you said, Hatate, mate, that guy is phenomenal. I still want to say a big thank you to Dan Orowitz who came onto the podcast and he came on twice actually. And then obviously January we spoke about Hatate and Maeda and Ideguchi. He's been spot on about especially Hatate.
He was
spot on about him. Him and Maeda, he says they two will be starters in a way. Ideguchi, if he didn't really do well, it's not really a big deal because he's already brought in they two. He was that confident they two would do well. He was basically saying if Ideguchi doesn't really do well, it's fine because they two will hits and so will Kyogo. So again, a big shout to Dan. He was phenomenal and his podcast. Everything he says was absolutely spot on. But we've had some good feedback about that, JP, and obviously saying that he was spot on everything he says and the information he gave us about.
No, his interview was brilliant.
And it's good the fact that it's the fact they've backed it up. Like everything he says, it's happened. Obviously, I've given my head a wee bit of a jip the last few weeks because he's not been maybe technically good enough, but he's still doing the work after the ball.
Right, see the other night, I know when he set for Kyogo's goal, mate. He just doesn't get in, man. He chases. That's just the thing I know, right? All right, he's not a born predator like Big Giacomakis or Kyogo when they're in the pump, but see the energy he gives the team now. Like he's chasing that down. They two shit themselves and run into one another as if, he's going to hit us here. Because that's the thing I know. See when he presses and lets you feel him. He hits you. So he makes contact with the defender or the winger or whoever it is he's chasing. And there's no money will run away from him. So, in fact, I've not seen MD run away from him yet, apart from Barisic. He runs the other way, but that's just a different kettle of fish altogether. No, but the other night when he wins the ball and then the ball breaks between the two, I don't know what the two are doing, the Chuckle brothers, man, the two just run into one another, and to me, to go, no, but he finds a gap and goes round. Knocks the ball into Abada. Abada hits the post, Kyogo scores. And by the way, I'll tell you what, if Kyogo missed that, then my telly was going off. And I actually think Kyogo might have it off as well. No, as I say, but you're right, Ryan, I know, in terms of, he does frustrate you because he does things when, but he's that annoying type player when he'll take a touch on something and he's not meant to. He's meant to play it, and he'll try and play it, and he should be taking touches, and it is quite frustrating. But as I say, mate, that's why we've got a squad, Ryan. That's why we've got a conveyor belt there, a different, because everybody's different. That's the thing as well. Even all our wingers are all different type of players.
Mm-hmm.
No two players are the same, and I think that's what's kind of mind-boggling for other teams as well. And I think that's why the other teams are finding it so difficult. Even my fullbacks are all different as well. Ralston's more hard in the challenge and a bit more sturdy. Juranovic is the type of player that wants to get forward with the ball and maybe take people on and beat people with his cleverness. And Craig Taylor's now becoming that possession type fullback that likes to get on the ball and play good passes and open play up and take players away and make runs inside. And whereas Bernabe, he's just a flying machine. He's just direct. He just reminds me of Tierney. Mm-hmm. In terms of wants to just beat people and get by people, and he's fast and uses his speed. So we've got different parts of our makeup now. All our midfielders are all different as well. Hatate's a born playmaker. Mm-hmm. He makes things happen. And I reckon Hatate's probably one of the best midfielders, and I've seen it Celtic in the last 15, 20 years. I know that might be a big shout, mate, and it's early days with him still, but I just think he's tremendous. His vision's unbelievable. Like, see when he takes the ball in a half touch, in a half turn, and he's one step ahead of everybody. The only thing that annoys me is see when he plays passes and it doesn't go to the man. But it's not because it's Hatate's fault, Ryan. It's because the other guy's not read it. Like, they should be ones, he's one touch all the time with him. So that's the type of player he is. So in my opinion, see if I was the other centre mid, you get in and run about him. You definitely, you need to get in and run about him. Because he's always looking for that one touch layoff all the time. Especially in, see if we're on the build up through the mid-60s and we're on transition. Watch him now, right? Because he backs into his man and he's always looking for that one-touch layoff. The only one that can read it, the only ones that are really good at reading it is O'Reilly. O'Reilly's always in and run about him. And so's McGregor when he's here. I like saying Moy and Turnbull, and when he's here with them, they're that wee bit of, I don't like to say fucking slow because that's not what I'm meaning. A wee bit more lackadaisical in terms of not being switched on properly. Moy's a different type of player. Moy looks like a pensioner playing fives. Like he just looks like that kind of guy that's dead slow, but he's really clever.
Aye.
And what he's doing, and he's maybe 2 or 3 ahead of what he's going to do, but he's designer makeup on the pitch. He just looks dead slow. He looks as if he's. Because you would go like that yourself, he's not getting there. And then all of a sudden he gets there and he wins the ball and he turns and does a wee thing and then slides a ball through. And so he's quite deceiving. It's like that mob across the water, they're quite deceiving in order. Fucking worse than they actually look. But that's a different thing again. So that's what I mean about the players, Ryan. They're all different. Every one of them they've all got different sort of in their makeup. And I think that's what really makes it successful. That's what makes it work. Because no two are the same at all. There's no 2 players in the team that are the exact same. Everybody's different. Even the strikers, Giakoumakis is different from Kyogo. Kyogo brings a tempo that Giakoumakis doesn't he? When Giakoumakis plays, we need to play a mid press. Because he's just no athletic enough to press for the tap. Aye. He can't do it. I know he can run and he can chase, but see against Real Madrid, we to play as a mid press, so we to sit off and allow their centre halves to have the ball. You can't with Kyogo, you can sit right up, and then the midfield changes and all because then you go to it's effectively in a 4-3-3 attack formation. We are a point to your sort of mid-3. Like a triangular fucking V-shaped sort of, if that makes sense. So it's kind of different. And then when we've not got the ball, everybody all knows what they're doing and all right. They all fall in. They're all compact. They all kind of fall in. And it's depends who you're playing against, I know. Like seeing the Champions League, I've seen us drop into a back 5 with 3 centre-backs. But then you've always got one of the full-backs sitting for the quick transition when you get the ball and you pass it and you go wide. So, now everything's done at speed. And I know it annoys us a couple of times when you see Joe Hart taking 3 quick goal kicks. But see if you watch a documentary and you see why. We conceded against Hibs in the cup final. We scored right for kick-off. That's worked on daily with that team. See to do that, Ryan. Talk it to Stone in the monitor and a projector going through footage of football and then telling the players what you want them to do. See, standing doing that in theory, mate, it's fucking night and day for actually getting on the part and being able to do it. So for them getting on that part to then carry out what he's asking them to do, it is absolutely frightening. And no only that, today in a cup final, when you're under pressure and you've just conceded a goal, phenomenal, mate. There's no many teams that you can look at and go, they've got a real identity in terms of everything that they're doing in theory goes into a practical session as well.
Aye.
So it's really well oiled, mate, and it's really good to see.
The only thing that annoys me with Joe Hart in terms of how quick it's probably the European side, because sometimes in Europe,
especially with the home in Leipzig,
you're not reaching home with Madrid, right? I know you want to win the game, right? But sometimes you're thinking, right, Joe, well, maybe just take the draw here, right? And he's playing Cromwell, just settle down. That's the only thing I don't like about it sometimes.
But then he's been told not to,
I know. You can't go against the manager, but it's just as fans. Yourself, JP, if that was me who was playing, I'd back my goalie just going to settle the fuck down. But again,
you know yourself, mate, when you're on the park, you try and manage a game as best you can as well. You've got to then have that duty as a player on that park to manage that game.
But the documentary was brilliant. That showed you about bits and bobs about obviously behind the scenes. Again, it's something that we've been crying out for as fans. You see other teams doing, obviously, arms and stuff. I know that when they happen at Celtic, because obviously McGregor says there won't be cameras in my fucking dressing room. That's obviously maybe been stuff that the players haven't really been known about for the documentary by the club, or the club have obviously said to the players, look, maybe taking 5 minutes here and there for a documentary, for the club's documentary. But I think for the whole wide public, I think they're like that, no chance.
Why do you think McGregor said that? Do you think he just doesn't want to see fucking Jota doing his brow cream in the mirror or something like that?
Maybe they want to see Big Vickers' moisturising regime in his mirror.
Aye. Starfelt's wax strips and all that kind of bit.
But I do agree with you. The documentary was good, and we've got a clear, obviously we all know that season, the 10-0 season, we didn't have any identity whatsoever. It was just try and win the game. Then it was Neil winning, bitterly disappointed. Won the game, disappointed. Now with Ange, it's a clear structure, a clear identity, what you're trying to do. Every player knows his job. Even the subs came on. They're not sitting with this big iPad in the mirror and you need to do this, you need to do this. Just get ready and go in the park. You already
I've upgraded Gavin. What is it? It's not a laptop anymore, it's an iPad, isn't it?
No, but now he's a set piece. He's a set piece coach.
He's a set piece coach now, isn't he? And he also works for the defence as well, because you see him man the name up and all that before the game.
As well, we obviously gave him a bit of criticism because we don't know what we were obviously thinking they were obviously they're part of that losing team, but the fact that Andrew's kept him on, it tells you a big thing. People obviously say to Kennedy, why is he only there because of this? He's only there because of this. Why is he still here? But every manager just came in and kept him. So that tells you something. He's obviously very good at his job and he's very good with the players. He's highlighted as supposedly by in the grapevine, he's highlighted as a coach. So
well, he was linked to Midtjylland there, weren't they? They were wanting to talk to him about the management position.
I suppose they were talking about Hibs as well, right enough. Again, I think eventually maybe that is his goal. I don't know if it is. I don't know John Kennedy personally, so I can't comment. But there's only so long we can maybe. Obviously, it all depends if you want to go management. But if you want to be a manager yourself, there's only so long we can be an assistant, because eventually you want to be your own man. But I do agree in terms of what you're saying in the midfield. Look, Moyes just. They all know what they're doing, and it's like it doesn't matter who plays. Yeah, if it's against Hearts, if it's Shakhtar, if it's away at the Bernabeu, you might obviously Bernabeu just have a different kettle of fish, right? But realistically, we're probably going to get beat, right? Again, it could be a miracle. You get a draw. You've always got to have faith you're going to get something, but you've got to be a realist as well. It's going to be very hard, but you're still confident they'll at least put a performance in. They'll still do a job, and I think because you know the way the manager works, and everything the manager's asked them, you can't really fault any of them really. As much as I'm maybe saying maybe my is not technically this or a bar is not technically this, Forest is this, but as a whole, the squad's lived up to just a bit of the expectations that the manager's put on them, and it's because I think it's again I keep getting down to the same thing under Rodgers, JP. Every game you had no qualms about who was playing or no qualms about the match, as in you were basically walking in thinking the game was won. Let's be fair, we all were. Against Motherwell at home, I could be 4-0 a day. I could maybe 6 a day. Maybe 2 a day, but we'll take it. That was the way it was because we were going so well. We were playing so well. And that's the only reason why I say is how we could do very well this year in terms of maybe not getting beat or not really getting beat a lot, because you know what the squad can do. And like you says, mate, these smaller teams, they've got their own identity, their own way of playing. But in terms of the quality of play and in terms of the players putting it to task, no other team in Scotland will do that. They might do it in their own leagues, like maybe Dunfermline might do it in League One or Dundee might do it in the Championship. But in terms of the top league in Scotland, Rangers can't match that because they're playing with 3 defensive midfielders. I don't care what anybody says, you won't win leagues or football games if playing with 3 defensive mids consistently. You might win the odd game away in Europe or the odd game against a good team at home, but you won't win a leagues with 3 defensive midfielders. It's just not going to happen. Because how you always meant to score goals. If your wingers aren't in form, you can't play with 3 centre mids. It's just, it just can't. How you meant to get the ball to your forwards? But we're different. Like you said, O'Reilly, he's into that role. McGregor, Hatati's there. You've got Boy there. Whoever's in, if it's Abelgard, whoever's in, you're confident they're going to give the guys goals. How many chances did Kyle go miss in Wednesday, right? And that was him still scoring. That was just 1-4-0. How many did he miss? That's insane. But this is happening every single game. It's not just happening second or third game.
No, it's happening in the Champions League as well, so it's not even domestically.
Even at Mirren, we get beat. But how many chances did we miss? Madrid. If McGregor's one has the bar of the post, if that's in, it might not, it might.
There actually wasn't. See, think about it, I know, mate. There actually wasn't many chances against St Mirren. We were that poor.
Aye, but in terms of style of play, you were still trying to play. You were still trying to create chances.
Aye.
It wasn't like we were just like a sitting duck, just passing the ball about and just taking medicine. We're still trying to make the chances. They might have not come off as much as other games. But that's probably a game that's not come off as much as any other game. But they still had more shots at St Mirren, more possession. So if me and you looked at the game before looking at the match, you'd have thought, how was that 1-0 or 2-0, whatever it was.
Aye.
So how you would look at that and go, how was that 2-0? But when you look at that's what I'm saying. Sometimes for me, JP, I think stats are sometimes deceiving. I'm normally a big stat person. The stats always normally tell you, but the biggest stat is the victory. That's the biggest stat, isn't it?
Of course. No, definitely. I think it's the most important as well. Like I said to you the other night, Ryan, you play football. To win football, you need to score goals.
Yep.
That's how, look, when I said the other night, I can't understand teams that set up so negatively against other teams. Just not to get wild. Again, I can't understand teams that set up in their home park with 3 defensive midfielders. I've never knew it's hard enough trying to fucking play as one defensive midfielder. Having another 2 numpties that play the same style besides you is going to be even tougher. Especially when the 3 guy pass one. No, do you know what I mean? But like I say earlier on as well, that mob are deceiving. They're fucking lost when they look. They really are. But again, you talk about identity. That's you're going for a team that's got a true identity. Other reason is unknown to them, but they're totally bypassing what he's trying to tell them to do. Either that, or he doesn't have a true
way of playing football.
No, not a true way of playing football. A true identity within himself that I still don't think he knows his best team, and I still think he's clutching at straws by throwing formations together and teams together, because it just seems to me that it's always Goldson, Tavernier, Lundstrom and Kolak, and then the rest of them he's just fucking eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and he's just throwing the rest of them together. That seems to be the way it is. Am I surprised that, they've been let up? No. Because you look at both teams, Ryan, you look at us, you look at them. We're explosive, dead expansive, explosive, playing really good football, play high energy, high tempo stuff. They've got a way of winning, but it's becoming a wee bit predictable now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a ball here away from dropping points now, mate. And the way you booed half the part, mate. You won 1-0 against Dundee. I don't want to be disrespectful to any team. I'm sitting in the house talking about them. But Dundee, mate. I know guys, I played football with guys through the years, mate. We could throw ourselves together, get ourselves fit for 6 months, and we'd give Dundee a game. I don't mean that harshly, mate. I've played football with really good players through the years, mate. Do you know what I mean? Guys I played fives with would probably beat Dundee.
I'll need to take a wee knee injection, mate, for my knee.
That's what I'm saying, but I've played football with guys, mate, that would put up a better fight against a Dundee team. And 1-0, that's not convincing. You look at Celtic never even got out of second gear. 4-0,
Nope.
strolled.
Nope.
Half of them done a bricks wet. The only time Kyogo, see the only time Kyogo's been wet is when he slipped in the grass at Celtic Park. It's the only time he's been wet, man. Half the time he's no broke sweat. But like I say, you talk about that's the both sides of the coin, man. You're talking about a true identity to another team who's not got an identity. And it's non-comparable. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I mean, people might shoot me down and probably say he's talking about his fucking hole in his head. But people can say what they like. In my opinion, I don't think MD in this league has got the manpower to deal with us. I really don't. I just don't. Over the piece of the season, I don't think they've got the manpower to deal with us. It showed last season. The dinosaurs are still there. The pensioners are still getting the bus ticket money. They're still there. They're still recruiting. You know, they weren't able to stop us last season. They signed about 3 of them up new contracts. Now they're trying to offer another one a million. And he's only got one knee. And that's because, I don't know, for whatever reason, do you know what I mean? It's mental, man. It's absolutely crazy. You weren't able to stop that Celtic team last season. So you're now going and try to stop them with guys that couldn't do it a year before. Without really adding.
Aye. But that's what we speak about all the time, mate. You need to refresh your squad every year, and that's the top of January. Anne's already says he's got that and planned already. Every team, it doesn't matter if you're East Stirling in the Bolton division or Celtic Hearts or your Celtic.
Right, they made the Champions League and never signed them, though.
That's what I'm saying, but you've got to refresh your squad as much as you can. But that's the reason why I think Liverpool are not doing as well this year, because they've went stale. They've had to sign Nunes and one or two other guys, think Carvalho for Fulham. They've no totally refreshed their squad. Like Man City, every year they sign
let Manny go on, didn't they?
Aye. But Man City, they sign 2 to 3 quality players and it refreshes their squad. It gives them, the guys who are already there, an extra push. Similar to us, we've signed obviously Bernabei, it gave Taylor.
Taylor at the end of the window, we went on and signed Haskabanovic and Abelgard. There
you go. So they're obviously pushing the guys.
And Moy.
Better. Jota's, I still believe Jota for me when he's fit. He's probably, him and McGregor, they're probably the 2 main men in the team sheet. Hatata, and there's a few of them already on the team sheet, but Jota for me when he's fully fit, he's a man. But you've still got Hašabanović pushing him now. Forrest is a wee bit of form now. He's probably pushing. Maeda's pushing. They're all pushing for players. But look, guys at Liverpool, like Salah and Firmino and Jota, and I know he's injured now, but they guys are just about playing every week. Same with Rangers, like Kolak, he's probably playing every week. Lundstrom are playing every week. Aberdeen guys, they've offered some of these guys don't refresh enough. I think that's one reason we've done well under obviously Ange and Michael Nicholson. Again, I know some fans still won't give the board a lot of credit. Personally, again, it's an opinion, but I believe the board deserve every pat in the back. They had the last year and a bit under Ange.
Yeah.
But I said it all. I said in the previous pod, they've backed them blind. Every player brought in. The only player I would say he's kind of failed. He's not failed because he's only gave a chance. Is Gucci. It's the only player that I can say that he's not really done much. McCarthy's anything you said on night, every time he's played, he's done something. He's no flashy. He's no over the top. He just does a simple thing and keeps the ball. He's going on night and all he done was keep the ball. He's done a brilliant tackle coming to the tackle of his own, but he's done a brilliant tackle in the left hand side and he won the ball back and Taylor go to him and go possession again. Simple thing, ain't doing the play that some people don't really look at.
I think it was a boy Goss, I think he Lerald turned, didn't he?
The ball and right back to Taylor, and Taylor kept possession. That's the things that some people don't look at. When you look at the game back, you actually look at, take away your Celtic fan specs and try and look as a bit of a coach. You see these things that some of these players do. Like you're talking about Tati, man. see any like young players, young biding footballers at Celtic who want to play midfield. Obviously, I would say McGregor, but just watch Hatate. He does nothing flashy. He doesn't sprint. He doesn't. It's just he's always got space. He's always doing the wee balls round the side, round the back. It's phenomenal to watch. And like Jason said the other night,
his goal the other night was a beauty, man.
Mate, but you listen to media, or you listen to paper, or you read the papers, or you listen to whatever. That's what we mentioned, mate.
I know. If that was Cristiano Ronaldo or a wee rollover, no kidding me,
For him, mate, I love watching him. He's very, very good. He's got a bit of a nasty side to him, but in terms of owning the ball, mate, he does make things tick, like the through balls and see the balls round the bend.
Who's that?
Oh, they're brilliant, man.
Who are you talking about?
Hatate, the wee ones.
Hatate, aye.
Some of the stuff he does it, but it's like he already knows what he's doing. Like me and you spoke. It's like he's 2 or 3 steps ahead of some of the guys already who's on that park.
No, he is. He's 1 or 2 ahead. He's 1 or 2 moves ahead on his own head. Like, that's what I'm saying. He's too quick. Like, some of your boys are too slow off the mark. Like, try to get on his because he likes one-touch passing.
Mm-hmm.
He likes all that, and he likes to knock the ball into feet, and it's always right into your path. It's always into the stride. It's always into the, where he wants you to be in the next move, and then he's always on the run and the overlap to try to get on the end of maybe a 1-2 or a wee knock inside, like he says, he always finds space. He always seems to find that couple of yards of space where he's phenomenal, mate. He's been a brilliant find, and it's frightening to think, mate, only 3 years ago he was playing university football. And he's only going to get better. And I don't think any of the Japanese boys that are Wayans and in the team, mate, they're not the ones that they're going to be desperate and wanting out the door.
Oh.
So, if they're playing high-level football and they're winning things and they're being successful, they'll be happy, mate. They've never had anything like that before. Celtic's the biggest club any of these guys have played for.
Yep.
Money's no... See the Japanese, mate, money doesn't motivate them at all. And you've seen Kyogo the other night as well. Like, I can't believe we're having this conversation, man, but when people talk about fucking hoodoos and, he was half a boil and that because he hadn't scored in a couple of weeks, doesn't mean to say he's a bad player. He's missed a few chances. I'd be more worried if he wasn't getting the chances.
I know.
But strikers, that's what all strikers go through. Even Larson went through spells like that. But what separates the really good ones from the dafty ones is the really good ones bounce back straight away, whether it be a tap-in or a 30-yarder. He's still trying. I mean, he was unlucky with one that hit the bar the other night as well for just outside the 18-yard box. So it's all this talky, there's no, his head's no there, and he's a fucking pile of shite, man. I've never heard some of the biggest load of nonsense in my life. Like, total rubbish. Like, stop listening to Hugh Keevins and fucking Chris Boyd and all the wahoos of the day.
But that's the thing, but mate, people still watch Sky. That's
what I'm saying. Fucking Alec Ray says Hatate could only play one position and couldn't play 2-3 positions, but yet Jamie Sands could play about 5. The only one Jamie Sands has been able to play is fucking Domino's on a team bus going to a game. That's about all he's been good for. But
that's what I'm trying to say, right? That's what me and you, again, we're no experts, mate, right? But you have your opinion, and I think some mate's right, people think it's wrong. You come on with an opinion, and before you come on, if it's Twitter or whatever, on this, whatever, you've got it in your mind what you're going to say. You've researched, or you've done your work, what you're going to come on and say. Mm-hmm. That's how he's played, let's be fair, Premier League, highest level, right? How can you not say that a utility player is not a good player in your team? Somebody that you need in a squad that can help you when guys are injured. Mm-hmm. The big Chris Sutton ended up like that. He played in centre mid, he played in centre back. But would you ever see Alex Ray going to Chris Sutton, Barry the big man? See back today, I think you weren't that good because you could play midfield and centre back. Mm-hmm. It's because he was a guy that didn't know he's come into Scotland but then because his team brought on a similar guy, it's fine. But see, I still thought, I couldn't believe, like, how can you come out and say that? But like, why is this not getting pulled up all the time? Like, Alex, are you going to change your mind about this? No, are you going to admit that you were wrong? Unless he has. If he has, fair play to him. But I've not seen it on the media. I've not heard about it. I've not seen it in big bold writing anywhere on his own page saying Barry Hatate, what a player, son. And James Sands is one of competition with the Rangers. Don't care what anybody says. I know he's not a centre back, but if that's the guys they're trying to sign to win the league off us, then it's a long way to go.
Jamie Sands, mate, I mean, the boys, he swung at everything at Ibrox. He's dug up more holes and fucking makes it left from Hull Golf Course. With that right boot he has, man. Yeah, he's got more leaks in my granny's soup, man.
Happy Gilmore.
Telling you, man. See if you look at his bag, he's got a wee photo of the Mario Brothers underneath. He's got that many leaks in it, man. You know what I mean?
Happy Gilmore. Tap-a-doo.
Happy Gilmore, aye. The only thing he's not got is a fucking blazer.
That's James Sands at Ibrox, isn't it? Go to a happy place.
Aye, go to a happy place. It's no fucking here, that's for sure. He's absolutely hopeless, man.
But another thing, mate, as well about that, it's like watching Hatate, you've got to think that, mate, the value we got for him, that's phenomenal. Like, even if he wasn't to play another good game in the rest of his Celtic career, he's paid you off.
No, of course. It's the recruitment, with Ange, has been phenomenal. I don't care what anybody says, it's been absolutely phenomenal. The Champions League side, it's been a big letdown for us all in terms of being goal shy and not taking my chances, but even defensively, I think we've been good as well in terms of the games we've played. I think Claudio Reyna needs to evaluate his life, mate, if that's the kind of moves he's getting people, Jamie, to be honest with you, mate. Because it was the same with Larson when he recommended Bangura to Celtic. I don't know if, I think Henrik had a late night that night or something, you know what I mean, and decided to fucking tell Celtic Bangura was good enough to come and play for us. Bangura wasn't even good enough to make tea for people, let alone come and play here for Celtic, but that's a different man altogether. But in terms of Claudio Reyna, Jamie, Claudio Reyna needs to take up fucking playing drafts down the park with his mates or something, man, because recommendations for players and going places just doesn't have his forte, but it looks at things if that's, you know, if that's what he's doing. But because like he says, like we've all said, Jamie, as well, Jamie Sands is like quicksand. He's, you know, it's a sinking ship when he's there. And no, you're in soapy bubble, mate, if that's who your go-to player is. And I don't care if he's a utility player, he's shite at every one of the positions he plays right enough, so it doesn't matter how many positions he can play. He can't even play one good position, let alone play 4 or 5. So no, you're in soapy there, I think, if that's the kind of the calibre of player that Claudio Reyna wants to. Maybe Claudio Reyna done it for a bet or something, for a laugh, just so he could sit back and, you know, get a laugh with his mates when he sees Jamie Sands playing for that team, because I think I'd be having Gio played with Claudio Reyna as well. I think I'd be having a word. I'd be right on the phone to Claudio like, what the fuck is this you've done here?
The Mora as well, mate, I know. I think the Mora might be one of the hardest games in terms of the battle in midfield, because obviously I don't know if I think Cameron Evan will be playing. Messenger's kids, he's already plays, you know.
Well, sure. I know I've got a couple back. I don't really pay attention to them, mate, because I know I remember reading something yesterday to say that they've got a couple back for the game, but I don't know if it's Halkett or you know, a couple of them. I don't know if it's the ones that have been out longer term or like, is it the big boy Haring? I know he's been suspended for them, I think.
I think in terms of midfield, that's always Hearts' probably strength in terms of trying to get at you and nibble at you. I think there'll be a few bookings tomorrow as well.
Well, I found that interesting when the boy Cochrane did his interview.
I get some yellow cards or something.
You've got to take the bookings against Celtic, because if you don't, they'll just steamroll the top of you. But you need to be careful, because you've now got VAR, so in terms of your intent and challenging, then you're not going to be scrutinised for everything you do now.
I think that's your strength probably as a midfield. It's always really been their strength in terms of stuffing you out at Tynecastle and getting tackles in and getting the crowd on your back. And again, while Snodgrass plays it, gives us a wee bit, I think, to think about, because he is still a very good player. He's just came for Luton, obviously. He'll want to maybe, again, as a Celtic fan, he'll want to maybe, if he's playing, he'll want to not prove a point to Celtic, but do well against his team he supports. He'll want to do well, you know what I mean? So, I think if he plays again, that adds a bit of experience to our team as well. Gives us something to think about in a sense, because he's obviously good deliveries, free kicks. He's very good on the ball. Experienced player, so he'll add to Hearts' game if he does play.
I'm actually going to put my neck on the line and say Snoddy won't play. And it's not because I don't think he's not a good player, it's because of the high tempo stuff we play. I don't think Snoddy, he might not like me saying this, but I just don't think
it's more for battle, isn't it? In the middle of the park.
I think so. I think the game's no for Snoddy. It's not going to. He might come on, but I don't think he'll start. I'd be surprised if he starts, because if he starts, then he's obviously he's wanting to have a go at us then.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Nielsen will set up a bit more defensive minded, because of the high energy tempo stuff that we play.
As much as I do think that we will win the game and we will take the game to them, they've obviously got a big threat as well for Stephen Kingsley. Again, he's a very, very good left foot. If he does get out wide and does kind of take the right back, if it's JJ or Ralston, I think it will be Ralston personally. But sorry,
he's been playing centre half for the last wee while for them as well, hasn't he, Kingsley?
I personally think it will be JJ, sorry, who plays right back. So if Kingsley does play left back, you all need to stop his crosses, because he's got a very good delivery. Again, I know they were shouting for Scotland. I think he only got off to Scotland because they were very, very short. But he has got a good left foot. He is very good in terms of Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
He picks up the line very quick. So they have got some threats, especially at Tynecastle. But I think you say, JP, I think if you ever overcome the battle in midfield, I think with Hearts, I think you can win the game, because they've not got major threats anywhere else. I know probably Kingsley's probably the biggest threat. It's getting wide and getting balls in the box. Again, I'm only going by from when I see Hearts. I'm not a Hearts fan, so I can only go by for what I'm seeing on this. And when they play against us, any Hearts fan, if they're watching this or they're listening, they can comment, say they've got more threats, because I just have to be balanced here. I don't really know much about Hearts as much as maybe their fans. So, but in terms of when you watch me on TV and against us, the main threat for me is the battle in midfield. If they win the battle, then they can take you a wee bit, because you've got a bit of needle in there. But if Snoddy does play, then you've got a bit of threat, because he will cause you hassle. He's got a good delivery.
Barry McKay's obviously a natural threat as well, isn't he? Because he likes to get at people as well.
That's something. But again, but Barry McKay, is he playing out wide, or does he play inside? If he plays out wide, you've got a threat with him 100%. He's on form for them.
And you've got the boy Forrest as well. Forrest.
They've got threats, but in terms, I would say for me, the main threat in terms of if they win the battle in the middle, then that gives Barry McKay and obviously Forrest out wide a bit more leeway to go and get the balls in the box. But I think if we overcome them, I think we should win the battle. Maybe better players and better quality. If you don't let them get in your faces and win tackles, it kind of, I would say it kind of stops them, because they like to be tough and icky and ready. The crowd on your back at Tynecastle. So if you overcome that in early 5 minutes, early stages, get an early goal, settle the crowd down. Celtic, I can't mind the stat, JP, but I think it was like, I think every time Celtic score first in the league, I think they've won every game.
Aye.
Or it's if they're winning at half time, they don't lose. It's something that honestly, mate, the stats crazy. It's I can't. I'll need to, after this, mate. I will need to go and look at it again. But there's a few stats out there. Every time Celtic score first in the league, or they're winning at half time, but they don't lose the game. And mate, if you're big on stats, then if that happens, you're just thinking, right, on you go and win the match.
No, definitely. You're right. It's always a hard place to go. It's probably one of the toughest venues away from home in the league to go to. We've always got no bad record at it as well. We always seem to do quite well. I know they beat us last season there. Can I see them beating us tomorrow? No. For the simple fact that we're on a bit of form, a bit of momentum getting into the game. And they've not won a game for a wee while as well. And Aberdeen turned them out last week as well. So, I fancy Celtic to do the business overall. And it'll not even matter. I don't think it's going to come down to team sheets and who plays and who doesn't. See, all that doesn't. They'll all be under the same instruction, regardless of who plays, who starts, who's a sub, who's no, who, you know what I mean? They'll all have the same instruction levels. And they'll all know their roles, again, like we said earlier. So, in terms of midfield battle, it probably will be. I'd imagine it will be. They'll probably try and impose a physical style against us. They've got a big boy Cibric at the back, I know. They've got Shankland, who can score goals. But they're really what they lack is what we've got in abundance, which is tempo, in my opinion. And if we assert ourselves properly, pose ourselves properly, I think they're going to. I think overall we'll struggle because apart from kicking us and knocking lumps at us, that's about all they're going to be able to do to try and stop us. Because they're not going to outrun us, they're not going to outplay us, they're not going to outpass us. So I think it might be curtains for them tomorrow, mate, to be honest with you. And again, it's another one to tick off the box because we've got 5-6 games before the break now, so we need to. They're coming thick and fast as well. Here's hoping we escape tomorrow with very little in terms of injuries, mate. Because like I say, I think we'll put a bit of pride back in, especially on Tuesday night. I put my neck on the line the other night, and I do think we've all won the game. I know I said that against Leipzig, but I do actually think we won the game now because the shackles have slightly come off. We're at the Champions League now, so in terms of that, there's no pressure on us now, and we're more dangerous when we don't have a pressure on us to go and express ourselves. But when Ange eliminates that and takes that away from the players, that's when they play their best football. That's when they've been explosive and dangerous. And again, the games are coming thick and fast, and you kind of want to just stumble onto the next one now, and hopefully nothing drastic happens in terms of your main players getting injured. And because let's face it as well, some of our boys are going to World Cup, so they'll not want anything happening to them either.
I know, that's true.
They'll not be wanting injuries, they'll not be wanting to pick up anything before then, they'll be wanting to impress the international managers. And every one of them will be under scrutiny in terms of the international managers. That's normally when you get the best out of players. When they know that, like guys like Juranovic, the Japanese boys, Moy, they're all going to World Cup. So they're all going to be wanting a bit of pomp and play well, and they're going to have that desire and will to win. And that's the difference, Ryan. See, when you've got a team that you've got that desire and hunger, then along with a freshness and new players, and you're playing at a big club, and they know that every one of them will get it. They all know what it means to pull on this jersey. And that's the thing as well. So that's when I go back to when I was saying earlier about them, very seldom do they not turn up because they know what's expected of them. They know exactly. And although he's not in the part, McGregor's still there. He's still at the games. He's still with them. So he'll still be talking to them. He'll still be telling them, what's expected. And so like say Joe Hart and Greg Taylor and Carter Vickers and some of the bigger characters, even Juranovic, they'll still be there. They'll still be there and no letting it lie. And then obviously Ange. So no, I think it's only going to bode well for us, mate. I think.
I know I say that they've no other threat apart from a midfield. Though. The reason I was saying that was, but for them to get their threat, they need to be on the ball. Like Barry Mackay and Forrest, Shankly's going to get the ball at his feet. If Shankly's not get the ball at his feet to go and score goals, he's a passenger. He's just going to be chasing shadows. He's going to have a graveyard shift if they don't take the game to us in terms of winning the battle midfield. He's going to get the ball to him because he's not going to. If he keeps coming deep and deep and deep to get the ball, then it just leaves us to pass the ball, put him at the back, and he's just going to have a graveyard shift. Same with Barry Mackay and Forrest. If they're not getting the ball out wide to them to use their threat, they're just going to be running shadows up and down, up and down. So for Hearts to use the sort of threat that they have got in terms of I don't think I was only saying because if they don't win the midfield battle and get the balls to them, they've not got the threat. But when they're on the ball, Barry Mackay will have a threat to you. Snoddy, if he plays Forrest, Shankland, if he bought his feet and he's maybe going to your turn, but a threat on you in the box, aye. But I think Hearts need to overcome your midfield first before they win anything else, because if they win the battle against you, but like you says, with a physical, they get in your faces, they get the crowd on them. Say we don't score in the first 15, 20 minutes and they might be like, right, let's go and try and take the game, but
yeah,
sometimes I think when you do score against us, you're waking your sleeping bear sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what annoyed me in the Leipzig game. I missed a few chances. No Leipzig, sorry. Leipzig, when they scored the first goal at Celtic Park, them started to play. And sometimes with any football team, that frustrates me. I'm like, why not start like that for the start of the game? But beyond easy is that, because sometimes you get penned in and teams start. Sometimes getting a goal against you, it does wake you up. Right, fuck, we need to start going here. We need to get more into this game. If Hearts want to get the first goal, would you be worried that you're going to lose a game? You're worried because you've got a goal against you, but you know that they're going to be up for it. They will get another chance. It's not they're going to go a game without not having a chance. That's just not going to happen. So, in terms of that, Hearts for me need to win the midfield battle to use our threats. If we overcome midfield battle, JP, I think there's only one winner. I think in terms of the quality we've got, the technical ability, especially going forward, like you says, mate, for me, the only reason we're going to lose games now is if we don't turn up. Teams can turn up to their game, even Rangers, but if we turn up to their game, even Tuesday, Tuesday, if Shakhtar and Arsenal turn up to their game, I think we win the game. Because I think they're a better team of Shakhtar, maybe no in terms of European stature, their season pros, we all know that.
I know what you mean, like technically, man for man.
They've got 2 or 3 good players for what I've noticed. Again, I'm not a Shakhtar fan, I can only see bits and bobs, and you look through the Y Scout, etc. You only see bits and bobs, but in terms of what I've seen in the last game and what I've seen against them, they've got 2 or 3 good players, but us at home, you'd expect a total different game. So I think we will win the game tomorrow, mate. I think we will win the battle midfield. Early stages will be I think they will be a bit chaotic. They're always at TYNECASTLE, the first few minutes are always a bit, ball's always a hot totty. I'm like you, mate. I think if we turn up, no matter what they do, we win the game. The last few minutes or so, mate, the pod, last part, mate, obviously VAR's in now. I'm like you, mate. I'm for it if it's done properly. Even down south, it's all other place. They're getting home balls for VAR and your toes offside, and I think that's absolutely crazy. Like, you've got to give it advantage. See if your toes offside, it's no offside. Do you know what I mean? It might be offside for that line and all that, but it's bonkers.
But then you've got to flip that and all and tell that to Nkunku when he scored against us.
I know. But,
do you know what I mean? He was only offside with a toe.
I thought we got lucky with that, to be honest with you. I thought we got lucky with that. Nkunku go, it was tight, you know what I mean? Sometimes you need to laugh and go, right, okay, we got that, right? That was one for us. But again, VAR more as well, like you says, if it's done properly, I'm all for it. But the only thing I don't like about JP is you score a goal and you haven't to maybe wait. It takes that authority away. It takes the joy of scoring. Right, I need to wait. I need to look at the screen. I need to look at the ref. Yeah, I can go and celebrate now.
I really think is if it's a 30 or 40-yard screamer, but you're not waiting. That's
but you're not waiting. But apart from that, say it's maybe offside, it's a through ball. You're going to score and look at the referee. You're going to look at the linesman, like what's happening before you can celebrate. And that's what I don't like. I don't like that because I'm actually scoring a belty a goal, but you need to wait to see if something happened a minute ago. There was a home ball. That's the only thing I don't like. But if it's done properly and it's done with referees who should be doing the VAR, then I'm all for it. But
my understanding is, Ryan, it's a different setup for what the Premier League have got down the road. So the same setup we've got what they use in the Champions League now. In terms of hockey, it's hockey.
Aye.
So it's the same it's the same setup that they've got down in in the Champions League. So it's that one, like the ref will be told an instruction. It'll be up to him then to go to the monitor. But when he does go to the monitor, you know that's going to be the decision. And then the players from both teams have got to stay away from him as well. Otherwise, it's time for, well, you know, you can book you essentially. So because we've seen that earlier in the Champions League qualifiers with him across the water by Golson.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything to do. People thought it was back chat, and I says no, it's because he went and stood behind the referee when the referee was at the monitor. The ref turned round, he was the first person he seen. He went, right, yellow card. It was nothing to do with the fact that he gave away the penalty and gave away the foul for the penalty in terms of the on ball or whatever. But no, it's an incredible setup, mate. As I said, they've spent a few quid on it, and obviously, I just hope it's done properly. But like I said at the beginning, Ryan, it's the same numpties that are operating the remotes, so you've just now made them even more dangerous than what they already were, in my opinion. But we'll see. As I say, well, it's one of the ones. It's the proof's in the pudding. I've not seen the Hibs game tonight, so I don't know, obviously, if it was even needed for that. If there's going to be any talking points. But like Ange says earlier on, mate, a good referee is a referee that you don't even hear it
Aye.
at the end of the game. So, and he's no one for really using referees as an excuse for any sort of result or decision making, or not like the opposing manager he's up against tomorrow, because that seems to be his war cry. Anytime something doesn't go his team's way or whatever, it's always the referee that done something in the game, and not the fact that his team just weren't at it. So, but as I say, in terms of VAR, mate, it's one of the things. It's in every sort of football now. We're way behind the times. It's been in football now for quite a while, and we're always fucking last to do everything.
I know. In terms of that VAR, in terms of coaching, in terms of sports science, we're last to do it, mate. But we really are. But aye, mate. Anything else you want to speak about before we end the show tonight, mate?
No, mate. Probably spent enough time on talking shit tonight. So, as I say, no, I'm just looking forward to the game I'm on now, right? Just looking forward to, because that's it. We're at a stage now under this manager and this regime now that we're just looking forward to the next game. Like, we can't wait to see what's next in store for the team, and obviously what it brings, and obviously what the next result's going to be, or you know. So, and especially under Ange, because it could be potentially record breaking the next game. You know what I mean? Whatever's going to happen. So, but now that obviously there's a midday kick. Is it midday?
12:30, mate. Aye.
I think it's a midday. I'm sure. Is the programme midday and the kick-off's midday, or is it midday the kick-off? I'm not sure.
Oh, mate, see the coverage Scottish football gets is a shambles.
That's unbelievable. That's scary. I mean, the other night we had 15 minutes of fucking build-up to the...
But it goes to adverts.
Celtic Motherwell quarter-final. I know.
Adverts. It's getting... See, like, I don't know why... See what they do down south. See, like, a Monday Night Football. Aye, that's brilliant. See the way they actually talk and they argue. Like, they let Neville and Keane and all that argue. That's brilliant. Obviously, it doesn't get fighting and cuffs, but...
Who would you let on a Monday nights to do up here?
Imagine Chris Boyney learning.
Nah, that would be a massive security risk.
Yeah, I know. But I see like if you were going to do like that, I think see like Sutton and McCoy or something, they two would be brilliant. You know what I mean?
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Okay, but like Carragher and Neville and Keane and all that, when they're on, I mean, it's a proper conversation. It's not just. It's not just like proper nonsense. It's a proper chat. Do you know what I mean? It's a proper sort of like post-mortem of what I've just watched. And
but one pundit I like, again, I'm probably biased, but in terms of what I've heard from him and what a lot of people talk about him, Petrov are very, very high. He's very
good. Aye, he's not very good at the game.
I know he's past he's big
straight to the point as well, which I like with Stan. He kind of says what he needs to say and then he lets the other guy talk. But some of his facial expression is good or not, depending who he's in the studio with. But especially when they're talking and he's sitting there, you have to say,
shut up. I just shut up.
Especially when he's early Boyd, man, because you can just tell that he's looking at him saying, "You're an absolute wet wipe, by the way." Honest to God, look.
But I think I'm only back because he's batting he's back to Sky now because Rangers started to win a wee bit now, and Celtic are not winning the league now, and you know what I mean. That's why he's back on. He's back on Sky with his kid on.
He'll disappear once it gets to the nitty-gritty part of the season. He'll disappear again if Celtic are on top.
Aye. That's the usual, but the odd day, mate, and then next year they'll come back again.
They'll get into hiding, and then it's the same again, mate.
Yep, it'll be called beans red again. But
it's like the guys on holiday when they come up to sell you watches or sunglasses at 8 o'clock at night and it's pitch black.
Next year.
They just go down the road and like, bounce into a tree and then they come back up and or bounce off a motor and just come back up and ask you again as if it's the first time I've ever met you again. You're like, that planet are you on, man? You just came in 10 minutes ago.
I know.
And asked me, did I want something? And I said, no.
But that's the same in the media, but the media will ask my and that the same questions, and then, mate, you asked for that last week. Like, same questions and the same guys, and
he just shoots them down. But he tells them, look, stop asking me about Starfield because you've asked me 6 weeks ago how long's it going to be. I told you that a number of weeks. Now it's probably going to be after the World Cup, I think.
Aye.
Because I don't think he's not just going to fling him in out the cold in these games that we've got. We've only got another 5-6 games before the break now. So, in my opinion, there's no way he's just going to throw him in because it could hinder him as well. Do you know what I mean? Especially if he's not up to speed and he's no match sharp. Because then what you don't want him doing is breaking down. So it's probably better to wait till the mini break. Then it's like a kind of mini pre-season for him. Then do you know what I mean, to get yourself ready.
Yeah.
So no, but as I say, mate, I've not really got anything else I want to add tonight. But with yourself?
No, as I says, mate. Haven't we spoke about tonight, mate? Happy to always get it across with you and see your smiley face as well, mate. In a Friday session with you, mate. It's just getting a bit off.
To be so. By the way, he was sitting there sober as well. I know what I mean.
I know that's the thing. It's a Friday session sober. Know what I mean? If anybody likes the content, please tick the wee bell on the YouTube. When we go live, you get a wee notification.
Yes,
please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us provide the free content. There's loads coming up in the next few weeks and months. Again, it's all for the fans, all for the views, for the stands, all opinions from the fans. Me and JP's on Twitter as well. You can get me and JP on Instagram as well, Facebook, and just type in the name of the podcast. You'll get that everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, and obviously Facebook. But again, JP, good to chat to you, mate, and hopefully I'm talking to you on Saturday and Sunday over the weekend with another good victory, mate. But hail, mate. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Always a pleasure, mate. Hail. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.